Hello everybody, it is me, Tarsal, and I'm back at it again with another Minecraft video. Last time I did a tutorial for you guys. This time I am making a decor tips and tricks video. This time I'm going to be focusing on how you guys can decorate your bedroom. Things you can use, storage, tables, chairs, beds, hidden lighting in this particular setting, things like that. So, first one guys, is a desk. This one uses only 2 birch slabs and 2 birch trapdoors. As you can see here, it's pretty simple to build, just 2 trapdoors on the side of 2 slabs, just put beside each other like that, fold the trapdoors down, and you got yourself a little desk. This can be made with any wood type. It's pretty simple to use. Next up are 2 more desk variants. These are more tables, not more computer desks or something like that. This one is a birch pressure plate on top of a birch fence. Again, this can be done with any wood type, doesn't really matter. I've decided to stick with birch throughout the entire thing here. So, the counterpart to this one is, instead of using the pressure plate, is just using the carpet. So instead of having this wood finish that can be clicked down, you have this gray carpet. It's not really carpet, it kind of looks more like a marble if it's on top like this. You can imagine however you want. Plus, you got like 16 colors, or however many there are in Minecraft, so you can make all sorts of different tables. Next one on my list is a storage unit. This is more of one of those modular storage units that you'd mainly find in like a modern apartment or things like that. So this one uses birch trapdoors on the backs of stripped birch logs. This is quite an interesting texture, I'd say. Because most, like, furniture that you get from, like, the hardware store would have, like, that, it's like a plastic, it's not an actual wood, you know what I mean? Like, finish, and this almost looks like that finish. So, I decided to partner the birch trapdoors with it, which allows you to open it. I put some scaffolding here, makes it look like a, kind of like a netted shelf that you can rest stuff on. You can put potted plants on here. You can do just about whatever you want. You can't actually store stuff in the drawers here, obviously it's just a log. It's scaffolding, which you can put item frames to represent items back there. So if I was in survival right now, I would be able to pop this out, except it would actually pop out, not just obliterate into a billion pieces. So you could actually like store stuff in your shelving. Obviously for blocks you can only store 1, but that's where barrels come into play. So, bet you guys didn't even notice that, but the texture is so alike on the opposite side that it looks just like these spruce planks. As you can see here, you can't really tell the difference. So if somebody was in your house here, they wouldn't notice if they were just running by. It's really hard. Next up, 2 chair designs. These ones are actually really useful, and instead of making these good old chairs that we've been making since alpha, just like that, instead of these chairs, which you can still make, right, like they work, they do their job, but I find these ones actually look a lot more like chairs. So again, these are birch, they can be done with any wood type. I just find scaffolding pairs the best with birch, in my opinion, especially instead of things like, say, I don't know, let's say dark oak. If you put that on top of scaffolding, it tends to look a little weird. It looks like a chocolate bar as well. I don't know why they did that. But other than that, I have a door behind scaffolding here. Pretty simple. It can be open though, and it does tend to look a bit weird when it is opened. So I don't recommend this one. I actually recommend this one, because as you can see earlier, it's only 1 block. You can put stuff behind it. This one you can't, because the door has to open, and it's really bad. I'm just kidding, it's not bad, but this one also has an extra feature. You can fold it down, and now you got a stool, right? You can stand on it, you can sit on it, or whatever, crouch, things like that. However you sit on chairs in Minecraft these days. So other than that, those are all the more wooden decorations, furniture pieces, things like that. Now, because it is a bedroom, we're going to be moving on to just bed designs. So this one here is just wool with a white wool pillow. Now, you can't actually sleep in this bed, It does look better as a double bed as well, but you can make it single. It tends to look like a wool log. I personally don't prefer that. If you make it double, it looks okay. The next two are actually my favorite, though. This is using dark oak signs around the edge of the bed, say like this, and then it allows for a wooden finish, like a boarded, almost like a frame, almost around the bed, and it actually looks really nice. Especially you can see, just on this, how much better that looks already. So this one here, I'm using snow as pillows. It allows for it to actually be 3D and the pillow to actually be popping out of the bed itself. So that's really nice. And I've used, as you can see here, glazed terracotta, specifically the purple one, as bed sheets here. And this is different. Obviously, it's not actually going to be working because it's solid terracotta and you can't actually sleep in it, unlike the actual Minecraft bed there. But I find this is better for decoration. If you're making, say, an adventure map, things like that, this would be great for that type of purpose if you don't want the player sleeping there and setting their spawn point. Because if you make a bedroom and you don't want them setting their spawn point, then beds are a bit tricky to make. So, you can always also make sleeping bags too. That might be coming in a future video though. I'll probably put that in with the outdoors themed one, so look out for that. Next up is this same bed design, except using this red mushroom block here. You don't ever see this used in builds, and I like it. It gives like a polka dot effect to it. Sure, if you break it, it looks a bit weird and you have to place back down the other blocks, but it can give a nice effect, especially if it's used in a wall. It almost looks like a wallpaper, and as you can see there, if you misplace, you have to replace that block. It is pretty annoying. But it gives a polka dot effect, and I like it. And I figured that could be used as bed sheets, and I actually really like this. This is probably my favorite bed design, and I actually used it in this example room that we're going to get onto later. Next up is an actual survival-friendly bed. So if you do want players setting spawn points, or if you're just in your survival world here, you can use this bed. This is using the actual Minecraft bed, as you can see. And then I've just made a headboard for it. This is using spruce stairs with spruce planks, and I've just used a flower pot there. You can really put whatever you want up here. You could put your pickaxe, something like that. So, that's it for the actual decorations. Now, we're going to be moving on to lights, because you don't want mobs spawning in your bedroom, because then you won't be able to sleep because there's mobs nearby. Dang, that sucks. So here's some lamp designs. These are rather interesting in the fact that they do light up, yet they're also made of pretty weird blocks. It's the post that lights up, actually. It's this end rod here. The end rod gives off light, and it has also a weird particle to it as well. You can probably get texture packs to remove the particle if you're really bugged by it. To me, it's not that noticeable. It's still white, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But this is using this lamp here, and this one, its next variant here, is using the quartz pillar as a lampshade, because it kind of has that rippled effect to it, and it's white, so, you know, most lampshades look like that. For some reason, I don't know why. This one is actually using iron bars. This one won't actually light up your room. Keep that in mind. So if there's no other lights in your room, putting this lamp in won't magically generate light in your room. This one will, because it's the actual end rods here that are generating the light. This one, again, using the same lampshade, just a different stock there. These two are desktop lamps, tabletop, whatever, and they do also produce light because they have the end rods. You could also use iron bars for these ones. They will connect to walls, though. So, again, if you put that one in the corner, either of these in the corner, they will connect to walls. This one is using a flower pot on the top, and this one is using a skeleton skull faced backwards, which is quite a hassle to do, especially if you're doing it right beside a wall with the end rod, because if you use the iron bars, again, it will connect. Because to be able to place it backwards, you almost have to punch a hole in your wall to be able to actually place it, or else it'll be facing in towards your room, and then you got a skeleton head on the top of a glow stick, and it really doesn't look that good. So if you are going to use the skulls, make sure to face them backwards, because usually the back of the heads have a more plain texture to them. The next lamp here is actually a design that I got from a different YouTuber, Grian. He's pretty cool. He makes lots of building tips, tricks like this, so you should go check him out. But this design is actually using a dragon egg, and it's actually a special block in the fact that it's Minecraft. You don't exactly expect something round like this. It almost looks like mods, but it's not. It's a dragon egg, and you get this only from killing the ender dragon. I almost said the wither skeleton. Oh boy. But then you pair that with a quartz pillar on top. Make sure to shift click, because if you don't, it's gone. And it'll go somewhere into the void or somewhere that you don't want it to be. But this one will also not give off light. I just personally think that's my favorite because it has an actual nice shape. It looks like a lamp. So, next up here, we got some hidden lighting techniques. Not necessarily prominent looking like lamps. So, first up is behind paintings. This is probably the most, generically used design. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get that painting again. But you get what I mean here. If you put it behind a painting, you won't be able to see it. It'll be relatively hidden, which is nice, because you don't want to just have a wall of sea lanterns. You want to hide them behind paintings like this. And paintings you can also walk through. So if you want to use it to get to the next room over, you can also do that as well. So that's just a cool, quick transportation method. Plus, added in lighting as well, so that way mobs don't spawn. This can be used really in any room of the house. Same with these carpets here. Carpets, again, put lighting underneath them. It's amazing. This here is 9 blocks of lighting. That's enough to fill up almost any decent sized room with light. You might need to illuminate the corners a little bit more. Other than that, as you can see here, I got my sea lanterns underneath. You can hide this just about anywhere. So guys, that just about concludes it for all the individual builds here. Things like that, individual decorations that you can build to put into your room. But now let's go into the room that I've built. This one has many of these mixed together into one setting to see and give you an example of what the room might actually look like with all these decorations put in and completed. So, I don't know why my game just paused there, but we're going to go in here. And as you can see here, it looks pretty nice. So, we got, first up, this storage that I have made here. It uses these trapdoors, these birch trapdoors. Again, you can make them with any wood. I just chose birch. Got scaffolding and got the flower pot there. For the walls, I've actually chosen some rather interesting blocks. I've used this stripped spruce wood and spruce logs. I've used the wood around the doors, so that way the texture will carry around and it won't look like that. I just find it looks a bit more eye-pleasing, if that's a word. So I've got an armor stand here with a bit of clothes on it. It is a bedroom after all. So, moving on to the bed, because it is bedroom. We've got the birch signs around it with the red mushroom block. I really like this one. We've got the snow here, using the birch slabs beside as tables, and then I've used the dragon egg quartz pillar type lamp right there. But what's actually mainly illuminated in this type, as you can see, that lamp doesn't actually light up, because I've got these sea lanterns in the roof here. This is a really technique that I didn't really go over, but if you put quartz slabs, well, any slab really, on the top half of the block, and then the block above it, put sea lanterns and then iron trap doors, it looks like a nice lighting. I really like it. I use this quite a bit. You can use not just sea lanterns, you can use glowstone, jack-o'-lanterns, torches, if you're into that. Just about any block that illuminates you can imagine, and it looks pretty good. You don't really look at it that often, you just kind of walk past it. It's just one of those things that actually functions and doesn't stick out too much, which I like. So, in this wall here, you might notice that it's a plank wall. The rest are these logs, to give it like a log cabin feel almost. Well, I've stuck some barrels in here. And you probably didn't notice this unless you got a good eye, because the textures, again, line up so well that you can't really notice them that much. So in here, you can have your storage. This could be your storage for this room. And again, this is actually a hidden thing. But if this is your other room, right? Pretend you're in here, yada yada yada. You can have your storage actually visible in this room. Say this is your kitchen, whatever. You could have your food in here. But then also, if you're in your bedroom, you could also access it as well, which I find quite interesting, instead of having just a dedicated chest room in your house. So, got a carpet here, sea lanterns, obviously. You know you gotta have hidden lighting underneath it. I just happen to choose red and white because it matches the bedspread there. You can choose whatever carpet you want. Depends on whatever dyes you can get in survival. Up to you. Next up, this is the desk area. So, I've used this desk that I've showed you. I've made it 3 wide. I could make it go around the corner like this. It doesn't matter. You can do it however you want. I have used the birch again because I've made it throughout this entire room. Whoops. I've actually used mushroom stems down here, by the way. I find it's a good texture. Highly underused block. That's my opinion, though. So on the desk here, I've used this lamp design, though. This flower pot one, like I said, the skeleton skull, just, it looks a bit weird. Especially because there's a window right behind here. If you're looking from the window, you'd be able to see the face, and it would not only be a bit freaky, but it just wouldn't look that good. Then I've got a laptop here. It's just a painting with a heavy-weighted pressure plate. Looks like a keyboard, and then I've got a stone button as a mouse. So that's it. That's it for this room. So I hope this room has given you some inspiration for your own builds. I hope you guys use these in your own Minecraft rooms, things like that. And other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.